All right, it's prediction time, y'all, and this is Battleground Predictions. Let's see how we do. Get your FanDuel money ready. Are
That's
you ready,
right.
my man?
Take it to the
All
bank.
right.
Let's go.
Take it to the bank. Gone rocking straight to the bank with this. Ha 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 ha. All right. First match, we got Frazer and Axiom defending the men's tag team titles against the OC. Who you got?
Oh, I'm going Nathan Frazier and Axiom retaining, only because of what we were just talking about. They're not going to have the OC win the tag titles when they're losing every week on SmackDown. So I think they're there just to enhance talent and make them look strong. So I think Axiom and Frazier are going to win.
All right. I was starting to think the OC was here to win the tag team titles. I was like, let's do this. Let's let them win. But then they were on SmackDown again. And now I feel they were off for a little bit. Now they're back. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then they beat up Frazier and Axiom. And you know my predictions. Last one to get a victory. So
Oh yeah.
I'm the same. Nathan Frazier, Axiom, retain. Next up, we got Shayna Baszler versus the always fun to watch Lola Vice in an NXT underground match. They both used to do MMA, so now they're
From
still gonna
the
do it.
from the UFC Apex too in Las Vegas of all places.
How many
Um,
UFC guys are we gonna have there? Throw it out there. You don't say who,
there's
but
gonna
you
be
got like a
three.
number.
There's gonna be three, and they're gonna show them all in the audience, and maybe one of them will
Mhm.
cut a promo. So,
What if Connor's there with all this like hype that his fight's getting canceled and this and that?
wouldn't
And
surprise me.
imagine him. Imagine.
Yeah,
All right, who do you got?
I'm going Lola Vice. I feel like there's no other option to win but Lola. I mean, I could see them having Shayna Baszler win, but I think it's got to be Lola. I mean, you bring these people over to put over the young stars and
Mhm.
build NXT up. Shayna Baszler can go to Monday Night Raw and be fine. Lola Vice needs this win.
I fully agree. Lola Vice is going to shake that beautiful booty of hers. She's going to win. Shayna's fighting for the NXT tag titles the next weekend. She doesn't need
Yeah,
this win.
exactly.
It makes no sense. All right, let's get into it. It's North American Men's Championship time. We got Oba Femi versus Wesley versus Joe Coffey from Gallus. Who you got?
I really do not care about this match at all.
Right?
I really don't. I feel like they didn't even really hype it at all on NXT
Uh,
television this week. That much. Maybe they did. I don't. It
well,
wasn't
Gallus came on
memorable.
with that promo, and that was it.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Obafemi's going to retain. I don't think
Hmm.
Gallus is winning. I don't think Wesley's going to win his title. I think he's going to be pushed up to the championship scene here soon. So yeah, I think Obafemi's going to win.
I think Oba Femi is the worst North American champion of all time. I said he should have never got. I have no idea what they gave. He was not ready. I'm gonna go Joe Coffey. Maybe that's our first difference. Gallus has been on a roll. They've been on a tear. They've been getting the promos.
Wouldn't
They've been
surprise me.
and Oba's done absolutely nothing. Wesley has just kind of popped in it, so I don't see why he would get it. But I'm gonna go Joe Coffey. I think HBK likes Gallus for some reason. All
Yeah,
right.
see, I think Joe Coffey's there to take the pin, and then we're gonna set up for a
Oh,
one-on-one match at the next NXT PLE or the next
like
NXT,
big. Yeah.
yeah, whatever show they do on television, like the themed show, and it'll be
Mhm.
Obafemi versus Wesley in a one-on-one match. I think that's where they're
I
gonna
see
go.
that. I see that too. I see that too. I'm gonna stick with my gut. My gut. It's
Yeah.
big right now, so I'll stick with it. All right, we got the North American Women's Championship, the brand new. Another thing I wanted to say about this NXT episode, which we didn't mention, the focus on the women. They were like, "Oh,
Oh yeah,
AEW, like you like focusing on the women? Hold my beer." This whole
yeah.
episode was women. They barely even talked about dudes on this episode. It was pretty damn
Oh yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah. Good
So
job.
we got, yeah, it was. So we got Soul Ruca versus Lash Legend versus Fallon Henley versus Jada Parker versus Michin. She's gonna win versus Kelani Jordynne in a ladder match. Who you got?
Sol Ruca. This is hers to win.
Mm,
She is the best thing going right now, I think, in the NXT mid card women's division, if you will. I think she's long overdue for
mm.
a women's championship in NXT. I think she's a star, and I think this is going to be her coming out party in NXT, if you will. Not that she hasn't already done that, but I think this is going to be she's really going to showcase how good she is. So I think she's going to take this and become the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion.
Sol Ruca is smoking hot. She has the best finisher in all of professional wrestling. I'm saying it.
Yeah.
And I had her 100% winning until she pinned Lash Legend in that 6-woman tag match. I got to go Lash Legend. You know how I feel about you can there's
and
no
Lash
why have
Legend.
her.
I'm torn on that one
She
too because she just
dumped
broke up
Trick
with Trick.
Williams. Yeah, to focus. And Soul, as soon as Soul got the pin, I was like, ugh, why are we not having her win? I know Lash Legend's hot too right now. I get it. She did some annoying scream during their interview, which I didn't get what the hell she was doing. But I don't know. It should be Soul, but I'm going Lash Legend just because she got pinned. Just what I'm doing.
I could see that. I could see it, but I really hope it's Sol Ruca.
All right, me too. All right, we got Trick Williams versus your boyfriend Ethan Page for the NXT Men's Championship. Is the whoop that trick era over? Who do you got?
No, Trick Williams is going to retain. And see, this is where I have a problem with. Like, you bring Ethan Page in, you propel him right into the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
You give him a great promo on the go home show of a big pay-per-view, but he's like, just to have him lose. So I'm really curious to see where he goes from here and how he loses and what he does after this. But because like I said before, I think we're going to find out how good Ethan Page really is in NXT, and this is going to be the start of that. But I think Trick Williams is going to retain.
Here's I agree with you fully. Why bring him over, hype him up just to have him lose? Here's the other thing. Trick Williams just got dumped by Lash Legend. Here's the other thing. Trick Williams, he's ready for the big show. So him losing wouldn't be insane. Here's my thing. I think one title is going to change hands. I picked Joe Coffey, but if that doesn't happen, one of these titles could change hands. So if it's not Joe Coffey, maybe it's not Ethan Page. There's a lot of
also the NXT
that's
Women's
our last
American
one we're about to talk about. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Oh yeah, the women. Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go Trick Williams as well. I think he's gonna retain, but I would not be surprised to see Ethan Page because I don't know what they do with him after this if he doesn't. He's not going to the big show, so he's gonna stay in NXT.
Get a stable of Lexus King and Sean Spears. And
call like that.
Call them what was the Soraya's group? They weren't the Outsiders. They were the
Outcasts.
The Outcasts. Yeah, get the Outcasts with a K, and then
oh
yeah,
nice. And have them like be
the call them the elitists or something. And then
are they gonna be like the opposite of Jericho Appreciation Society, where they were sports entertainers? They could be the professional wrestlers.
Yeah, there you go.
We're here. We're professional wrestlers. We only wrestle, and all they do is not cut promos and just have 15-minute matches,
or talk about how they wrestle, but then they never actually wrestle. Have them go out there and cut promos. Yeah.
Oh man! All right, main event. I think this match is going last. We got Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Jordynne Grace, the TNT Knockouts Champion, which, if you don't know, is the women's title for only the NXT Women's Championship, because Jordynne Grace had the same lawyer as Logan Paul. Who do you got?
Oh, this is where I'm going to go a little bit crazy and against the grain, but I think Jordynne Grace is going to win, and I think she's going to be a double champion. I think that's the only reason you brought her over, was to, A, hype up your partnership with TNA, B, recruit Jordynne Grace for when her contract is up in TNA, and C, to put the NXT Women's Championship on Jordynne Grace so it can be represented on TNA television. I feel like that's the only payoff that can come from this. And so I think Jordynne Grace is going to retain or going to win both belts. And then at the next TNA PLE, we'll get Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace, this time for the Knockouts Championship, and maybe Roxanne Perez wins that one. And that way the TNA belt's represented on NXT and the NXT belt's represented on TNA.
So I went with Joe Coffey, so that's my one. So I have to go with Roxanne Perez. I think only one, but I was going to go with Jordynne Grace and then I ended up picking Joe Coffey just because I feel like somebody has to change hands. The reason why I'm going with Roxanne Perez, because I don't think Jordynne's here to continue. I think this was just like, let's hype up, let's get TNA some love right now. We'll retouch it later. I think someone from TNA will cost Jordynne Grace. I don't know who she's feuding with right now. I haven't watched TNA yet. I have 5 episodes recorded, and my dumbass needs to start watching them. But but I feel like someone's going to interfere, and she'll continue on her feud that way with Roxanne Perez retaining to close out the show. I think we got Roxanne Perez, but I can see Jordynne win. I really think it makes sense. Not only that, but I think that's a big time FU to Vince McMahon from HBK and Triple H to be like, you never even wanted to do this. You ruined the WCW when we bought them, and we could have had them come over and beat some of our guys, but you were so damn proud. It's professional wrestling. The funny part is about Vince McMahon was that he was so adamant about Brett not wanting to job to Sean, right? Because he was like, grow up. This is the business. You have to just accept it. No, you lose the belt to Sean, who cares? You'll go to WCW and still be a huge career. But when he bought WCW, it was like, they're all losing to my guys. I don't give a shit who you are. You're losing to shove it in your face. So,
and even years later, when Sting came in, you had him lose.
He did the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't like he learned his lesson from 15 years ago. He was like, nope, you're losing to our guy, Triple H.
It's all about me. Yep. It's so stupid. So I think I can see HBK and Triple H being like, this is not Vince anymore, and having that happen. So once again, I can go 0 for 6 here. I have no idea, but yeah.
And not only is it an FU to Triple H, I mean to Vince McMahon, but I think it might be an FU to one Tony Khan, who's getting ready to have a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and a TNA or a AEW versus whatever CMLL and New Japan and whatever it is that they do.
Yeah.
And think like the one time TNA and WWE work together, a TNA superstar wins a WWE champion. Like, I think it's talk about the timing of all this, right? You have Forbidden Door coming up, and yet all everyone's going to be talking about is how Jordynne Grace won the NXT Women's Championship on WWE television.
Yep.
So
she's a star, man. You see her? Yeah. She is built like a brick house.
Oh,
man.
yeah. She's great. She's great.
She's really good. All right. That's our predictions. Like we said, take it to the bank, maybe.